Hi, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your time. Today I have a super exciting video for you. I ordered it last week and it finally arrived. It's the Beauty Bay and Nikkie Tutorials eyeshadow palette, and then also they launched some new pressed highlighters, so I got one of those as well to try on camera today. And I ordered a new coloured mascara from Kevin Aquan, so we're gonna give this a go today as well, just so we can have a nice collective first impressions video. But I don't want to be too long. You're gonna see me first swatching the palette so you can see how it works with the swatches, or just like a quick first impressions that way. But then obviously we're gonna try it on the eyes as well and create this eyeshadow look. So if you want to see how I created this look, please keep on watching. Also, I create beauty content and I post 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I have the occasional Saturday videos as well. So if that's something that you think you would be interested in, then please consider subscribing and press that bell button so you get notified every time I post. But now, without further ado, we're gonna jump into the video because it's gonna be a fairly long one. But I will leave you timestamps below, or you can see it on the timeline as well. So if there's only one part of the video that you wanna watch, then you can do that. But now we're gonna just jump into the swatches, and then after that we're gonna have a tutorial. So this is the packaging. It's quite nice. I love how the box has this nice shimmer running through it. Not like any of us will keep the box, but you know, it's nice. Nice to look at when it arrives. And then on the back there's a little message from Nikkie. It comes in a bubble wrap, so it's nice and safe. So you have this little card where she's basically talking about how she's recommending each shade to be used. I think this is a great guide if you're just starting out in makeup or if you are not sure. And the moment I've been waiting for, look at that. How beautiful is that? Again, the palette, just like the box, has a little bit of shimmer running through it, which makes it super fun. And I was really surprised that this palette is so big. I mean, you know, each side is like, let's say my hand. I mean, my hands are like normal size, I assume. I don't know. But I expected this palette to be a little bit smaller. And then again, same message on the other end. It's exactly the same as the one on the back of the box. And let me get you another palette just for, you know, comparison. So compared to like a Juvia's Place palette, it's quite a bit bigger. There we go, you can see both in width and height. It's a little bit bigger, and then if we compare it to another Beauty Bay palette, then it's quite a bit bigger than the pastels. Now that's the only Beauty Bay palette I have, so, you know, I don't have much to compare it to. Or if you want something more standard size, if you take like, let's say, a Naked palette, there we go. It's about twice the size, roughly. But it's still really nice and compact when you turn it sideways. Like, it's not too bad. It's still not as chunky and thick as the Naked Cherry. So I think that gives you roughly a good comparison of how big this palette is. Are you ready for this? Ta-da! It's beautiful. What I really liked about the layout when she was talking about it, how there are some little quotes on each side of the mirror. So this side says, I am me, and then this one says, you are you. And on one side it's a normal mirror, where on the other side it's a magnifying one. So if you wanted to travel with it, that's a really good way to, you know, have something with you that you will actually need. And I think now we're gonna get into swatching it, and then we can play with it. Swatches don't always give you a good indicator of how shadows work, but I still like doing it because it gives me a bit of time to feel the formula with my fingers and see what I think. And I think we're gonna go row by row. So starting with Redemption, it feels really nice and buttery. And hold on, it doesn't seem to swatch that great. It takes a bit of building up, which is fine. We will see how it performs on the eye. Then we're going into Blend and Snap. Nice. Then Ivy, which is a beautiful icy color, and I expect Nikkie to have a shade like this. Look at that. Then the shadow I'm most excited about, Slasher. Oh, there's a bit of fallout, which is a pressed pigment palette, so that's to be expected. Look at that though. Then the last shade in this row is 5 AM, which is a beautiful but quite ordinary brown. And it did not swatch the best, but there we go, that's the first row. Let me change the lighting. There we go. I think that shows them a bit more true to color, and you can see that beautiful shade Ivy there just shimmering. It's really, really nice. Also keep in mind that once we use a primer under these colors, they might come off slightly more pigmented. So the next shade we move on to is Roxy Catan. Looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at that, just with one small swipe. Oh, looks really nice. Then we move on to Vla, which in Dutch means pudding. And I still remember, oh nice. I thought it's going to be more pastel, but actually it's fairly bright. I still remember when I've been in the Netherlands, I've been au pairing there for a little while. And I remember you can buy their vanilla in like a, it looks like plant milk in like a cardboard box kind of thing. And I remember I was like, what? Milk? Is it milk? And I'm like, no, but it's pudding. It tastes amazing though still, but it's weird to me that you get it in a box like that. Then we move on to Mikai, which is lovely. It was named after her brother, and oh my god, have you seen that? Oh wow, okay. That was unexpectedly pigmented, beautiful. Then we move on to Mila, which I think, is it her dog's name Mila? I'm not too sure about that one, but I think so. So that's Mila, again, beautiful transition shade, and then we move on to Underground. So let's see. Oh yes, the shimmers in this palette so far seem amazing, but look at those shimmers. Oh, beautiful. I feel like the second row worked a lot better, and after I'm finished with this I will show you how much fallout there is. There is a little bit, which again is quite normal with pressed pigments, but that's the second row. So now we're going into the pastel blue plot twist. I'm really excited to see how this works. Okay, that's quite nice, because with the Beauty Bay pastels, that's the one thing I feel like I missed, a really nice pastel blue. And she said that plot twist and Vla, the pastely yellow, are there to blend out more intense colors, which makes sense. Then another one of my personal favorites, just by looking at the palette, is Aura. Oh my god, yes, I cannot wait to put this on my eye. It's this like really pinky, peachy color, but it has gold shimmer running through it. Then we have Basic Trut, which I think means basic. Let's go with B. I don't really want to swear on my channel, so let's go with B. And you can't really see that because it's the same color as my skin, so it's there, trust me, it's there. It's just exactly the same color as my skin. Then there's this beautiful shade called All In, which seems like a basic, like beigey kind of color, but it has all these like glitters or shimmers running through it that are duochrome. That's like blue and then green, but then you see a little bit of red running through it as well, not too much though. Oh, can you imagine how beautiful that's going to be on the eyelid with like even just a basic brown? Oh my god, I can't wait for using that either. And then the last shade in this row is You. As in like, you. As in like, you know, when you don't like something. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? And it's a green, and if you watch Nikki, you know that she doesn't like green. Oh my god, those shimmers I cannot get over. Honestly, if you just buy this palette for the shimmers, oh my god, I cannot wait to play with those. Look at that. Okay, now my hand is a bit shimmery, but we're on to the last row. So the first shade in here is Pride, which is this beautiful purpley pinky duochrome color. Again, with the shift it can be more purple or more pink. And oh my goodness, these shimmer shades in here are insane. Insane. And we're moving into Zomer, which I think means summer in Dutch. Again, Dutch people, please correct me. But it's this beautiful peachy, again, would be perfect for a transition shade. I mean, look at that. Then we move on to Mama Tutorials, which is a beautiful light blue. Again, it has a nice shift to it. It's a bit of an icy blue, but not overly, if it makes sense, like you can see when it shines. Oh, these are amazing. Then another shade I'm super excited about is Amsterdam. Well, Amsterdam. Oh, did you see that a bit of fallout? It's okay. Oh my goodness though, it looks amazing, but oh, now my little thing My little mat will have blue fallout on it. Oh dear, hold on. And then the last shade in here is a Mr. Tutorials, which again is a brown shifting into like a green. Oh, look at that as well. For the fall time, just even with the green in the crease, that would look stunning. These shimmers are insane. Right, let me clean this off and I will show you the fallout in the palette. There's a bit of fallout in Vla, Plot Twist, Mikai, Slasher, the tiniest bit in Mila, not a lot. The tiniest bit in EU, again, 5 AM, Blend and Snap, those seem to be fine. Zomer too, there's quite a bit in Amsterdam, which I'm not that surprised about. Honestly, again, with pressed pigments, it does happen. But it's nothing that I think we can't work with. Normally I do one eye and then I come back to you, but I decided, you know what, no, it's the first impressions, let me actually truly try it first on camera and I can match up my other eye. So I just prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion because Nikki said in her video that it works a lot better on a primer. So here we are on a primer and I just took my Morphe M506 and dipped it in the shade Zomer. And I tried to do a more Nikkie style eyeshadow, so I brought this shade in my inner corner and I'm just gonna bring it quite high up in here and blend it. And I will bring it to about halfway across my eye. And I'm gonna do a cut crease, I think is what I decided I'm gonna do. I don't have a full-on plan, but you know, we will see where we end up with. And then I switch over to my Blank Canvas Cosmetics E42 and I will dip it in Blend and Snap, which is this beautiful pink, and I mean, who doesn't like Legally Blonde as well? And I'm gonna blend that together with that peachy shade, and I don't want to bring it out actually too far, I want more of a roundish shape today. Apply a little bit more. So far they both look really nice. And they seem to be nice and buildable. And I'm gonna use Blend and Snap in the outer corner as well. I feel like lately I haven't really rounded my eyeshadows, so today we're gonna go with a round shape. And then I'm gonna go back with the small brush that I used before and the shade Zomer and just blend it. Also, Dutch people, if I pronounce something wrong, please correct me. And then what I want to do, I want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm gonna go in with the Jessup MUL 18 brush, which is just a teeny tiny smudger brush, and I will dip it in the shade Slasher. It's quite dark, so I don't want to pick up too much. And apply a little bit here, just sort of where I know I'm gonna cut my crease. I still want to build it up a little bit. And then just take the brushes that I used before. First, I'm not gonna take any additional shade. We will see later. And yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit more Zomer. I'm not sure I'm liking that shade there, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of Blend and Snap and make it a bit more pinky there now. You know, I'm allowed to change my mind, it's okay. And then go back to the bigger brush, again, a bit more Blend and Snap. And just blend it a little bit. I feel like I should have used pink all over and just used Zomer to blend them together, but never mind. I'm gonna have more of the dark color in my outer corner anyway, so we will see after that if I want to apply any other shadows. And now I'm gonna just take a bit more of Slasher and apply it in my outer corner. Oh, by the way, the brush I'm using is the e.l.f. eye crease brush. Just pat it on and build up the shadow. So far none of them are patchy and they build up nicely, not even this darker shade, but we'll see. And I'm gonna just take the big brush again, which is the Blank Canvas Cosmetics one, and just blend it a bit here. I feel like I need something between the pink and the red to blend it, so I wonder if I can use the red shade Mikai. Let's see. I'm gonna take for now, I'm gonna just take a small domed blending brush. This is just a random one from Amazon, and I'm gonna dip it in the red shade Mikai and blend it on the outer corners where it meets Slasher. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. And then take the big brush that we used with the pink, just blend them nicely. I might even go back a bit with Blend and Snap. Yeah, I wish now I used that pink in the front as well, but never mind. Yeah, the red helped so much to blend this. And then we can deepen it up later. I feel like I need to move Slasher a bit higher up in the inner corner as well. To cut my crease, I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm gonna just do that quickly. I'm gonna use for that a Jessup MUL 17. Okay, then we will see how these shadows work on the brush first, these shimmery ones. First I'm gonna go into the shade Aura. I'm using the Sigma E25 and it doesn't seem like it's picking up a lot, but I'm gonna press that on the middle of the lid. It works, sort of, but not as well as it's gonna work with our fingers. So I'm gonna take my finger and press it on, and I will have to just take a small brush for the more precise work, but oh my goodness, look at that. Oh my god, that's beautiful. So for the small detail work, I'm gonna take a small brush. This is just a random one from Amazon. It's just a small flat brush, and you know, use my patience. Oh, beautiful shade. Let me try with a more synthetic brush. Also, soon I'm gonna use a new chair, so you're not gonna hear this being super annoying in the background. Let me try it with the Jessup 16. It's a slightly different kind of brush. No, doesn't make much of a difference. So I'm gonna just load it on my brush and spray it and hope it works the same. I'm gonna use my Revolution setting spray for that. Yeah, I think that works. Oh, beautiful. So if you really want to use a brush, just make sure you wet it and then it's fine. Now I'm not too worried about those edges because we're gonna use another shadow there, so that's okay. Then I'm gonna use my finger first again, going in for the shade Roxy Catan, as this is slightly lighter. Oh, beautiful. And then same move, I'm gonna just take a flat brush, dip it in there, spray it. Oh, I almost sprayed it in my coffee. Do not do that. And then you can work it with a brush. And these two blend into each other so seamlessly. And then for my inner corner, I'm gonna take a small brush. Just need to find one that I haven't used yet. I'm gonna take my Sigma E47 and the shade Ivy. I'm gonna, again, spray this. Apply it right in there. Ooh, beautiful. Yeah, if you wet them, they work fine with a brush. And then for the outer corner, don't worry, I didn't forget that. We're gonna go back for our Morphe brush and dip it in Mikai. And just use that to blend the pink with this purple. And then go back in with the e.l.f. crease blending brush and build up Slasher again to have that full impact here in the outer corner. Oh my god, it's beautiful. And then you can get back into a big brush as well and blend it if you feel like you need to. And am I the only one? I dump all these brushes here in the same place and I still can see the one I want. Got it. So I just blend it there on the outer corner. And voila. That's one eye done. So I'm going to finish the other eye and then my complexion. And then I will come back and we can do some sort of liner. I haven't figured out what yet. and my lower lash line. Okay, so obviously I'm not done with the whole look, but I just wanted to show you that I haven't cleaned my face yet, and there's a little bit of a glitter fallout here and maybe the tiniest bit of the purple, but you can barely see it. So actually the fallout itself is not bad at all. I thought it's going to be a lot worse knowing it's pressed pigment, but I'm quite pleasantly surprised. Alright, be back in a sec. So, for my eyes, let's start with the brow bone, I think. So I got a new highlighter that I really wanted to try in this video as well because it's fairly new in the market and I haven't tried it yet. So this is from Beauty Bay as well. They have new pressed highlighters, and when I swatched it, it doesn't seem like a super intense highlighter, but actually with the brush, you can see it on this brow bone. It's really nice. So I'm gonna go back in with the Sigma E47 and apply it on my brow bone. And because I'm not precise enough, I messed it up on both eyes a little bit. So I'm gonna just go back with the brush that we used to blend out the shades and blend over it. But it's fine, it looks beautiful, it gives a bit of a glow to the brow bone. You can really see it there. I feel like I need a touch more on this eye. While we are still zoomed in, we're gonna go onto the lower lash line, and what I did with that is that I used my Zoeva 240 Luxe Petite pencil brush and dipped in the shade Mikai. I'm gonna just blend it all over my lower lash line. Because why not? It's a beautiful red shade, but once you blend it out, especially with the shade that I'm blending with, it's gonna look a lot more pink, so it's perfect. So then we're moving over to my Morphe M506 brush. I'm telling you, it's always in front of me and I don't see it. And dipping it in the shade Blend and Snap, so the pink that we used earlier. And blend it out, not being afraid of bringing it quite far down. You'll be interested to see later if it actually, oh, a bit more down here. Interested to see later if this actually tints my eyes. We'll see, I guess, but I have a feeling it will. And then I'm gonna use my Essence, I think it's like an eyebrow brush, but, oh no, eyeliner. It's an eyeliner brush, but it's just an angled brush basically. And I'm gonna dip it in the shade Slasher, tap it off, and basically just stamp it in the outer corner. And then I go back in with the Morphe brush and just blend it one last time. Then still using the same brush and the same shade Slasher, I'm gonna do my eyeliner on the top lash line. And I did not want anything too much, but I still wanted to add something. And that's why I'm using Slasher, because I can just stamp it on and it will just blend into my outer corner without it being an extra kind of line, if it makes sense. So again, load up the brush, tap it off, and just stamp it on. And where it meets the outer corner, I sort of angle it down so it looks a bit thicker there. But the good reason to stamp it rather than pulling the line, one, because you get more pigment with it being less fallouty. Is that a word? I don't know, but you're not going to have as much fallout. But also because these shimmers are really pigmented, you get more pigment if you stamp it down rather than pulling it, and you get a better coverage over the shimmer basically. So that's why I'm stamping it. I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with how little fallout I had from these shadows. Obviously I will have to play around more with the palette. This is just my first impressions. Perfect. And the last thing I did on this eye is that I took my small flat brush, dipped it in the shade Ivy, spray it with a setting spray, and just trying to put it on the lower lash line as well a little bit. Now it's a bit harder, I'm not gonna lie, but it works. Then I got a new mascara, which is a coloured mascara, but it's more like a burgundy type of shade. So I really want to try it with this eye look on lower lash line. It's the Kevyn Aucoin The Expert Mascara in the shade Blood Roses. And it comes in this gold packaging. I haven't got it out yet. And these were on discount on Beauty Bay, so I thought I'm gonna try it for myself and see. I'm not gonna lie, knowing it's coming to quiet doesn't feel weighty like, let's say, my Too Faced mascara, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna look nice. And it just has like a really old school type of wand, but even on the wand you can already see that it's like a purpley burgundy kind of color. Well, that is if my camera decides to focus, but that's the type of wand it has. And let's just see how much the color comes across. It does a little bit. You can see that it gives it definition, but you can tell definitely that it's not black. It's quite nice for this look as well because it doesn't take away from the lower lash line, but it still gives more definition to my lashes. Yeah, that's quite nice. Alright, I'm gonna do the other lash line, and then on the top lash line I'm gonna add the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara, and then we will move on to the waterline. And the last thing I'm going to do is just add an eyeliner. I feel like this is the sort of look that could really nicely benefit from false lashes as well. But I'm not really a false lash kind of person most of the time. And I hate putting it on after I put in mascara. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Love Drug. Now, I think this was limited edition, but anything kind of purpley would look beautiful with this, or anything kind of pinky. Yeah, that complements it really nicely. Alright, and now I'm going to zoom you out and we move on to the highlighter and then we're done. Whoops, out, 9 out. I want to try this highlighter as well. So again, this is the powder highlighter from Beauty Bay in the shade Glaze. And the packaging feels a little bit cheap, I'm not going to lie. Like, the plastic doesn't feel super high quality, but it does look nice. And the highlighter looks super pretty as well, so let's see how it works. I really like this brush for highlighter, which is from Real Techniques, and it's the Rebel Edge Medium. And I thought I'm gonna love it for like bronzer, but actually I really like it for highlighter. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I only have a little bit of blush on, but I wanted to keep it fairly natural, I guess, because my eyes are quite heavy. Yeah, now I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much it comes across camera, but it can emphasize texture, and some of my other highlighters don't do that, but I often find it that with more affordable highlighters they can emphasize it a bit more. Oh, it's pretty though. I've thought as well that based on the pictures it looked a bit more pinky. I mean, it is fairly pink, not gonna lie, but it's a bit lighter than what I thought it was gonna be, but it's still beautiful. And I'm gonna take the brush that I use for my blusher to blend it in. Now I'm gonna put a little bit, just what's left on my brush, to the apples of my cheek, and I'm gonna take my finger and apply a little bit to the Cupid's bow and a little bit to the bridge of my nose. I feel like my lips need to be more glossy as well. Hold on, I'm gonna work on that. But let me zoom you in to see if I can show you the texture. Do you see here how it really emphasizes my skin texture, which is not, my skin is not too bad to be fair. If you don't look at me this close, it does look nice. Okay. I'm gonna add a gloss, put on some face mist, and I'm gonna let my hair down so you can see the look in its all glory. In all its glory. Also, everything that I use on my complexion will be down in the description box in case you're interested. Voila, that's where we ended up with. Let me know what you think of this look. I really like how it turned out. Again, if you wanted to, you could give this look a bit of extra pizzazz with a pair of like flirty lashes, but I'm not a lashes kind of person, but the eyes are beautiful. Again, to recap, I really like the palette. I mean, the packaging is beautiful, and you can see it now how big it is next to my head. So I expected it to be a lot smaller than it actually is. So that's always a pleasant surprise when you get more than we expected. The packaging I really love. I love how it shows that it has a more fun side and a slightly more darker side, I guess, but when you open it, it's just like, you know, you have the slightly more neutral side, I guess. I mean, you have neutrals here as well. Did I just dig my nail in the blue? Oh, Mama Tutorials, I'm so sorry. Press it down, tap, 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 and we're good. There is obviously a little bit of fallout just because it's a pressed pigment palette, but as you could see on my eyes, I did not really have that problem so far. The shades are really, really nice and blendable and buildable as well. They work really well with each other. The shimmers obviously work a bit better with fingers, but that's true for most of the palettes that I own, and also in the little slip that she sends out with the palettes, it says as well that they are more workable when you use your fingers. But as you could see, if you just dip it in shadow and then set it with some setting spray, or like spritz it with a setting spray, you can still control it really, really nicely with a brush, so it works great that way. And I feel like this is a palette that will be really handy in the fall time as well, because you have all these grungier shades, and then these ones as well with like the green will look really, really pretty. You can always just, you know, make it deeper with Amsterdam. I will definitely do more looks with it. This was just more like a quick first impressions, but I will try to get to you up like a 1 palette 3 looks kind of video where I still use it. If there are any specific shades what you want me to use, let me know. I can definitely do that. This is a really Sandra kind of color palette. And I feel like I've done a lot of like greeny kind of looks lately, so I needed something that's a bit more pink. But I really, really love how this palette works so far. Again, I love the fact that on one side you have like the normal mirror, and then on the other side you have a magnifying mirror. I feel like that's quite unique, and I don't remember seeing that in any other palettes before. And I like the fact that it's cardboard. It feels really nice and high quality. Now I only... oh, there's a lipstick there. Why did no one tell me? I don't have any other eyeshadow palettes from Beauty Bay apart from the pastels, but pastels are quite hard to formulate, and with this palette I told you that while I like it, it's more of a companion palette that would actually work quite nice with this palette as well. But I can't really tell you how different this is from any other Beauty Bay palettes because that's the only one I own. But it's a really, really nice formula, and I would expect Nikkie not to give her name to any eyeshadows that she doesn't actually believe in, because we all know her for her crazy creative eyeshadow looks that are all nice and fun and colourful. And I have to say, while I love the matte shades so far in this palette, these shimmers are really, really blowing me away. I mean, look at it. I used 3 shimmers today, and oh, they just blend into each other so, so nice. Also, let's see at the ratio. Actually, I don't know. So there are 20 shades in here altogether, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shimmers and 12 mattes. So I feel like that's quite a good ratio, and these duochrome shades in there, oh, I mean, you've seen the swatch by now. They just swatch amazing, and I can't wait to play with all of these shimmers. But that's my first impressions on this. So far, I really enjoy this palette. And as far as the mascara and the highlighter goes, I mean, look at that. Now, from the highlighters, they have 4 shades altogether, and I think this retailed for £5.50. So that's a really, really good price, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to try it, because the Beauty Bay, the whole of Beauty Bay's line is cruelty-free. Now, I'm not sure about their vegan status. Oh, it says cruelty-free and vegan. Does it say anything about the eyeshadow palette? Well, you have the little logo of cruelty-free and vegan on the eyeshadow palette as well, so that's great news. It's a bit lighter pink than I expected it, and I feel like from far away it just looks like an amazing blinding highlight. In person, if you come close up, again, it emphasizes my texture a little bit, but I feel like through camera, or if you are further away from me, like, no one would be, you know, this close up to my face apart from maybe my boyfriend. So I feel like it works nicely, but if you have really textured skin, maybe think about it twice. But at $5.50, and you still have, how many grams? 4.1 grams, so I feel like that's quite a lot, especially from a highlighter. I feel like these could be good options, but there are only 4 shades, so it's not going super, super deep. Unfortunately, that's a downfall of it, but hopefully they will expand their range soon. And the mascara from Kona Kwan, which I can't see now. Oh my god, someone help me. Here we go. The packaging feels really cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Usually when you pay more for a mascara, now I got this on discount for like £8, so it's not too bad, but usually when you pay more for a mascara, you want something that feels a bit more expensive and weighty. this feels like, let's say, my Gosh mascara, so it doesn't feel really luxurious, but it's beautiful on the eyes. Again, I can tell you more once I use it, obviously, all over. I just use it on my lower lash line. It feels like something that's quite lengthening, and I always like a nice burgundy eyeshadow? No, mascara. I had one before from Avon, and I used to love it. It was so pretty, because when you barely wear any makeup, it just gives you a bit of extra something that's more natural than a black. So it's sort of like a brown, but it's a bit more intriguing because in certain lights the color actually comes through. So for the color, I definitely love it. I will have to see obviously how much it does for my lashes, but so far I enjoy it. But again, Kevin Aucoin, when people pay more for mascara, we want it to be a bit more luxurious and weighty. But that's my first impression so far. So I'm gonna go now. If you like this video and this look, please let me know and give this video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean so much to me. But for now, I'm gonna go. I hopefully see you in my next video on Wednesday. That's it. I'm gonna go now. Bye bye. Lipstick. And then also, nope, I made it worse. Oh well. I did not talk to you. Alexa, stop.